Welcome to this tour of the Read and Write Gold writing features. My toolbar is already open and docked at the top of the computer screen because I have to set it up in order to record it. If you are just setting up, simply double-click the purple puzzle piece on your desktop screen. When it opens, a small toolbar will appear in the center area. Left-click on that with your mouse, hold down, and drag it to the top of your screen and then drop it. The drag and drop will dock your toolbar at the top of the screen just like mine. So let's check our current toolbar. Click on the menu button by the purple puzzle piece on the toolbar and then hover over current toolbar. You'll see that currently we are looking at reading features. What we want to look at are writing features. So highlight writing features and click. This shows us that the writing toolbar is above and ready for use. So just quickly, the features include a spell check, a prediction, dictionary and picture dictionary, word wizard, words that sound alike and are confusable, a verb checker, and buttons for the audio. You have play, pause, and stop. Also fact checker, fact folder, fact map, screen masking, speech input, translator, word cloud. If your computer screen is a little larger than mine, you have two more tools on it. Since mine is a small screen, I can click here to see the non-viewable items, and that would be voice note and help. The help button is always good if you get into a problem and you need an answer to a question, but so are the tutorial videos that accompany each one of the icons that has the little arrow drop-down menu attached. If they don't have a little arrow beside it, you don't have the video tour option. For instance, fact map does not have it, and verb checker does not have it. But those are simple enough that you really don't need it. Here, however, you'll see picture dictionary. You can click on the arrow, and then you have the picture dictionary video tour. Those video tours last 1.5 to 3 minutes usually, and they get right to the point. You don't have to spend a lot of time sorting back through a video to find an answer to a question. You don't have to browse through frequently asked question list to find it. It's right there. So I encourage you, if you're working with Read and Write and you get lost or you're not really sure exactly how to use a feature, watch the accompanying video tour. I'll open a document and we'll get started. So you know, if you type in Microsoft Word or in a Google Doc, your errors are going to be recognized immediately for you. However, not everyone uses Word or Google Docs, so Read and Write Gold has included a spell check feature, and it's just as easy as clicking on the button. So here it immediately catches that volcanoes is spelled wrong, and it's asking us, did we mean volcanic? Did we mean volcanoes? Or volcanoes with an apostrophe S? So you have several options here. And looking through, you can click to read the definitions in this box to help you make a good decision about which word choice. So let's see this one. Volcanoes, spelled correctly, and it says, it gives us a definition here. So you can have this definition read to you if you don't want to read it yourself. Just click in the box at the beginning and then click play.
Volcanoes, a mountain with a large hole at the top out of which gas and lava sometimes burst, or used to burst in the past. The volcano erupted and destroyed an entire town.
Okay, so I know that that's the correct spelling. All I do now is click change. If I had several words, if I had a longer document, I could check volcano in the whole document and just say change all, and it would correct it to this every time that it popped up. If you want to add a custom term so that it doesn't check it all the time, for instance, my name, Rana, is a different kind of name, and it's always marked by Word as a spelling error. So I can add my name here by clicking the Add Custom button. You can also click autocorrect, so it will correct as you go, but there again, one, you lose the learning experience of double checking yourself, and two, autocorrect, if you have a phone and you've ever had something autocorrected, you know how that works. So you can also ignore the suggestion. However, we want to change volcanoes and make it right. So we click there and it changed right up. The next one is erupt. And you can see that it's not here. So it's because it has separated the word. Let's try putting the UP together and see if we get anything different. We do not. So now we can go to the predictor. Click on the prediction when your cursor is on the word or at the end of the word. And when you click, it gives you options. Tries to suggest what you might have been thinking. Here again, we don't have erupt. Let's see if we put a T at the end of it, if it would make a difference. Okay, yes. So with that T, it automatically catches that it should be this version. So you can click on this and it changes. The little ear that you saw out beside it, see if I can get us back to it. The little ears that you see just means that it can be a confusable word. Okay? And then when you're finished, just click out. The dictionary is a lot of fun. If you have seen the reading video, you'll know how this works. You highlight a word, click the book, and you get a definition. These are advanced definitions, and you can see that the word choice here is an advanced word choice. If you want something more basic, just click that menu and change to basic definitions. You get much shorter, more succinct definitions. Again, back at the dictionary, the web definitions is simply a Google search, but you can click here to do your Google search for a definition without having to open up a browser window on your own. Word Wizard, which also has this icon here, is basically just a search and find. Picture Dictionary is one of my favorites. It's a great way to create a visual word association. And in order to do that, you click the dictionary icon, highlight a word. We already have ours here because it was highlighted before. So we have several images that demonstrate the word dead. If you want to put this image into your text, just click on it twice. So when you double click, it puts the image into the text right by the word that you checked. At this point, it's just a piece of clip art. You can move it around if you don't want it there. You can even delete it. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn this off so we don't keep getting picture dictionaries. Word Wizard, like I mentioned, is just a find. You can see here, you type in a word and you look for it so that you can change it. Also, a repeat from the reading tool is the sounds like and confusable words, where you can find homophones, the words that are spelled differently but sound alike, such as there, and there, or two, and two. And you can show them, you can hide them, or you can just simply click the ear and have your document examined for them. And here you have an example. Did we mean this kind of bee or this kind of bee? So we know we want this one, we can click ignore. And again, you can have these read to you.
One time, at the same time, or when as soon as something else is finished, I have only...
So you can have the program read the definitions to you. You can choose to ignore, always ignore, you can change it. You could add it to a list through options of words that you want to keep. The verb checker. Click verb checker and it asks you to enter the word that you want to check. I want to say erupt. So I'm going to type it in, or you could copy and paste it. Let's do that. Copy and paste, and then enter. When you do that, it's going to ask you a few questions. Is this in the past? Is this in the present? Or is it in the future? So it could be past, but at this point it's a present tense. So let's just say next. So this gives you a chance to check it. I erupt, you erupt, he, she, it erupts. It gives you the present tense of that verb, the present continuous, past perfect, and the present perfect continuous. Then if you want to change, you can click on whichever version you want to change to and click the change icon. When you click on the fact finder, I had a word highlighted and I clicked on fact finder, and it gives me definitions. It gives me a thesaurus. It gives me a definition from Webster. That's always fun. Okay, we'll hop out of that. Let's do volcanoes. Let's highlight volcanoes and then click fact finder. So now you see there are a lot of options. We have a wiki article. We have types of volcanoes, videos of volcanoes, information from the U.S. government website, which we know would be a valid source, Weather with Kids, information for volcanoes. Again, it's just a quick way to Google search without having to leave to open up another window. So as we're researching volcanoes, we can actually highlight and save that information in our fact folder. And that also is very easy. Just highlight the information you want and click the fact folder. The pop-up appears, and you can see that that whole sentence is my title here. So maybe I'll change that to say volcano definition. It shows the date I accessed the information, and let's change that to me. It shows the source. It's already got it checked. And for category, I'm going to call it, I need to give a new category. You can see I've done some other research. So click add, and we'll put volcanoes. And then click OK. So maybe we'll give it a category as well. We'll go in here now and assign it the category that we just created. And click OK. Now, you can describe this information, this is a wiki article or whatever you want to do, but I recommend that students paraphrase the information now. Because if they paraphrase it now, then it's ready for them to use whenever they start working on their article. So I'll take a minute just to look at this to see if I can paraphrase this some way. Okay, then I'll click OK. you can see that that definition has been added. So now let's look down a little farther and see if we can find something else.
Volcanoes are usually not.
Okay, we've changed her voice speed.
For example, Hawaii are partial erupting volcanoes.
Okay, to change that, you can hear that the words have been slowed down tremendously. Go to speech options, and you can see my speed is at 0. So I'm going to change it up to about 44 and see that.
This is your new voice.
That works for me. We'll click OK there. Okay, now let's add another fact. One hazard is that ash can be a threat.
Erupting volcanoes can pose many hazards.
Okay, to keep that from happening, I'm going to turn off the play. I'm going to take off Read the Web. If you do want the internet read to you, you do need to click Read the Web. Okay, but I've turned it off so we can get this done. Here's the hazard. This is a very long fact. Very long fact. Okay, and then click the fact folder. And it gives me an option. I'm going to call it hazards. I'll change my name again. There again, it already has the article website attached. I'm going to put it in the volcano category and say add. And there I'll there I've drastically shortened that to one small fact and click OK. So now to see those facts, just click Review Facts. You'll be given a chance to select exactly what it is you want to review. Here is the original note. We'll click it and we will click this. And let's put those in a Word document. So you click on them. I've got to select a bibliography format. I'll pick MLA. There we go. Click the facts that you want included in your notes. Click the facts you want included in your notes, and then click on the Word doc. And here we have them exported for us. We have this basic information. We have the information that I provided with the description. And then, as we scroll down, see if I can scroll down here, you see the bibliography is there too. Now it lists me as the author, and of course I'm not the author. So if you wanted to put the article author's name in, it would be much closer to your actual bibliography. But since I use this machine with someone else for research, I just put my name there so I know. Okay, let's go to fact mapping. Click the icon. You notice that there is no play button by it or a little drop down arrow, so there is not a helpful video for this. It's pretty easy though. So let's start as an example. This is a graphic organizer. I'm going to click to add a new element, and I'm going to call it United States. And from that, I'm going to click on this, and then click another one. And I'm going to say 50 states. And then I'm going to go back to this and click again to add a new element. And I'm going to call this 16 territories. Okay. Now at this point, I could click here, and start naming the territories. Or, I'm sorry, start naming the states. And I could make 50 of them if I wanted to. and territories. Let's break this down a little more. Let's break it into inhabited and not inhabited. There we go. Okay, so then there I could create a list from here. So once you get this, you can arrange it. You can click here to arrange your facts. Do we want to go left to right, or do we want to go top down? I want to go top down. So we're going to click that and then say OK. And there you have it. It's pretty easy to do and self-explanatory because you can look here to see what each one means. So each little tool, if you hover over it, it'll tell you exactly what its function is. This one is undo, this one is redo, this one is paste, this one is edit the title, add a new element, delete an element, this is to add a link or to delete a link, this one is to brainstorm, this one is where you select how to arrange your facts, and this one is to select the current view. At that point you can save it by clicking here on the Save Text. You can also delete it here. Screen masking is helpful for people who have certain visual needs. Maybe they need to adjust the color and contrast of their screens. Just go to Screen Masking Options. You can you can change the color of your screen. Let's change ours to red. And say OK. And then let's change it to the whole screen as red. You can see that the backdrop has changed a little. And you can see too that line that goes up and down. That's following my cursor. And I can set it as well. But right now let's make the background color a little darker so this line shows up better. This is called your spotlight. To adjust the spotlight, click on Spotlight, and you can make it thin. This is as thin as it goes, or you can make it wider by this adjusting slider. You can change the color of it too. If you want it to be purple, or whatever color this is about to be, you can change it to that. There we go. Kind of a purpley color on top of the red. So that's how you adjust it. I'm going to adjust it back to my preferences. But this is customizable for each person. And now I'm going to make it transparent so I can see, and click OK. There we go. One of the exciting features about Read and Write Gold is speech input. Let me show you how this works. First of all, let's open microphone training. Just follow the prompts in here. So I'm going to enter a profile name. And click OK. Now I'll click Next. I'm going to use this as a desktop microphone, or actually a built-in microphone because I'm using a laptop right now. So you have to stay at a distance from your microphone that is constant. So make sure that when you train your speech input that you're at a comfortable distance from your microphone. Okay? Just keep collecting next, or just keep pushing next and work through this. Peter dictates to his computer. He prefers it to typing and particularly prefers it to pen and paper. Now the microphone's ready. We'll click Next, choose to enable this, and then say Next. I'm not going to use this for controlling my keyboard with speech commands, but you can see how that would be very helpful for a lot of people. If that's the case, then they would need to review the preference sheet, to learn those commands. We are skipping that part and just saying Next. I don't want to run speech recognition every time, so I'm taking that off, but you can leave it there if you'd like, especially if you plan to use it a lot. I'm going to open a document, and let's see how it works. First, click the microphone. This program is really exciting. It's great to be able to use this feature of Read and Write Gold. Okay, you can see it's not 100% because my statement was feature of Read and Write Gold, but it says every oracle because Read and Write Gold does not make sense to it. The more you use this, the better it gets. So you can see that this could be helpful, but you also have to watch it. It's a lot of fun to work with. The more you train the microphone to recognize your voice, and obviously the better your pronunciation is, the more likely you are to pick up the right words. The translator tool you have seen in the reading toolbar, but we'll review it quickly here. First, click on the translator icon and a pop-up appears. In order to get the translation for a word, click on it. Oops, just one word here. There we go. Highlight one word, and you can hear the definitions read to you if you hover over it. Oh, I forgot. I turned that off. Let's turn that back on. Use screen reading. Okay, now hover over it. Oops, you get dead back here.
Dead.
Okay, so there you have it. The default is Spanish, but you have several other language options too. You can choose French, Spanish, German, Italian, or Portuguese. You can also change the color of the display box, but I leave mine with yellow and blue. That's just my preference. Let's take a look now at the word cloud function. It creates sort of a vocabulary list of the words in your document. For the word cloud example, I want to find some relevant information we can use. So I'm going to click on volcanoes, and I'm going to click on Fact Finder so we can find some facts about volcanoes. Okay, I'm going to go to the Wikipedia page, and I'm going to copy and paste some information into a document just for the purpose of creating this word cloud. Just copy that first bit, and I'm going to paste it on our document here. Let me get out of there. I'm going to just add it to the end of this one. And there we have the material I just copied. So now let's make a word cloud with this information. Just highlight it and click the word cloud button. We're going to make a word cloud of our own words, and you can see here the most frequently used words here in this word cloud are plates, tectonic, and volcanoes. So in order to hear these words, we can have them read to us. I have to allow screen reading. And then
word cloud. Tectonic. Plate. Plate. Tectonic. Volcanoes.
Not even clicking, just
Tectonic.
pointing to those words. So there's another way you can use word cloud. Let's say you have a test coming up and you want some extra help studying and maybe keyword-rich help studying. So I'm going to just highlight a few words here just to get this called up again. When I highlight these words and click the word cloud, you see this option comes up. I can use my own text or I can use word banks. Click that and look through here for the topic that your test is coming up. Let's go with American Civil War Part 1. And you can click it and then click Create. And it creates a word cloud for you of words that you should be familiar with regarding that particular topic. If you want them read to you, all you have to do is hover over those words. Okay. Now you can set your cloud up as this, a cloud, or you can set it up as a list, and you do that here in the word cloud options. You can select how many words or phrases go in, you can select the colors, and here is the cloud shape, either list or cloud. If you want to be able to hear the word, then you should click Speak the word when clicked, or insert the word when clicked. That's up to you. Okay? Now let's go here to Voice Note. Voice Note is a really nice option to have. It helps if you're reviewing notes and you have an aha moment or a thought that you want to include. For instance, let's say, go back up here to this little poem about history. And let's say I want to record a note to go with it. Simply click the voice note. Open voice note. And here you can see that it's going to measure my voice as I start recording. I'm going to click Start Recording, and then I'm going to just make a note. This was a poem in a library book that I used to check out from school all the time when I was about 10 years old. Okay? I can insert that voice note now right up here. So I can save this document, and now this is going to be there. Let me go ahead and save it. Close it out and call it back up again to show you that the note stays there. Okay, here's my test doc. And here's an icon. When I click it, it will play back. Okay. I'm sure it's hard to hear on your end because the microphone is low. However, it's there, and it's a really neat option if you want to record notes, or say you have your lecture notes in here and you want to add a note that says this is when the teacher used the example of this, or associate this with something previously learned in the last chapter. So there are a lot of options you can do with voice notes. that does it for our look at the writing toolbar of Read and Write Gold. I hope this has been helpful for you. Remember, as you're using the toolbar, if you ever get lost, aren't sure what to do, click the little drop-down menu beside the icon, and it will walk you through everything when you watch the video tour of that particular tool. They're very short, they get right to the point, and they do answer all your questions.